All right, well, welcome back to episode 31, I believe, which is going to be all about making sure that your website is SEC compliant. I've been tinkering with this idea of doing a website review Wednesday for the community. I still might do that, but I figured let's get some basics down on the websites, and then I'll review as many websites as I can get through in the hour. And so let's just get going, and I'll start with my little spiel. So, look, when it comes to websites, I see a lot of non-compliant websites out there, especially in the 506B. We're going to focus on 506B. If you guys have a specific question on C, you're welcome to ask. But, as a primer, most of us who are doing 506Bs, these are for people that you know already, people that are in your world, people, your friends, your family, people you have pre-existing substantive relationship. It's not meant to be a public offering. And websites are public unless you've got a password protected tab, or the whole thing is password protected, or if somehow it's blocked by IP address, or however you techies out there can do it, maybe. But generally speaking, your website is public, and putting a business plan on there or putting projected returns on your website, obviously it's getting blasted to the entire world. So the website really has a very limited use when you're doing 506Bs, right? On a C, go knock yourself out and advertise on whatever project you're doing. But when it comes to a B, I like to say there's really three things that your website should have. And again, thinking of it in terms of making sure that it's more of sort of a business card, or when you meet somebody at an event and you exchange business cards, or they look you up on Google, you want them to find your presence online, so that's fine. But you want to be very, very careful about, obviously, posting anything about a deal is a no-no, but even again, this conditioning the market concept, which is so nebulous and concerning sometimes. That's why it's so dangerous sometimes. But to me, the three things, and I mentioned it somewhere today, but let's just review it for everyone. The three things is, number one, there's going to be an about us section, right? There's going to be a section about your company. What is it that you guys do? Are you guys multifamily, mobile home parks? Are you guys, are you cash flow investors? Are you developers? Are you conservative? Are you cash flowing properties? Are you tax mitigation? Like, what is it that you guys offer to the world? And then also the principles, like you guys, if it's just you, then a little bit of a bio on you. There's no requirement on the bio, by the way, unlike a PPM or when we're disclosing to the investors. The SEC does want specific disclosures about the sponsors, but that's not what this is for. This is just, again, your business card. You want to make it as robust as possible so that when people find you or look at your business card and find you through that they have an idea of what you've done, your experience, your track record, all that stuff. So that's the first thing you're going to see. An about us, it's usually a tab, an about us tab. Some people put the info on about the company right on there on the homepage, which makes a ton of sense. The second thing you want to have in there, and this is what your website really should primarily be, and that is the value add content that we always talk about, right? We always say that when you're doing social media advertising or when you're doing websites, there's nothing wrong with posting or putting on your website articles that add value that don't talk about your specific deal or future deals or anything like that. So, why real estate is the greatest asset class in the world. There's nothing wrong with having a blog or an article on that. Or if you're in the mobile home park space or self-storage, like why those asset classes make the most sense to you, and whatever the story is behind that, knock yourself out. Why a particular market is great, why Jacksonville, Florida, why Dallas, Texas, why insert here is the best real estate or the hottest real estate market, or why you like it. Again, you're trying to tell people with value add content, what markets you're in and why you like them. But anything that adds value, what we're doing here, like if you have a podcast, or if you have a blog, or if you have, you want to do webinars, all that kind of stuff, value add content, that's, for me, is what 97% of the website really should be. So you've got your about us, about me and the company, or you and the company, and then the value add is really what you should be seeing on there. And then the last thing you want to have is an email capture form. There's nothing wrong with having an email capture form, but I think the biggest mistake I see is that people are trying to capture emails in order to get into conversations with them and talk about your next deal. Right? Hey, if you're interested in investing with me, call here. That's where I think you get into potential trouble. The email capture form needs to be for some premium piece of content, right? So maybe you're putting together a webinar on, why a particular market or why a particular asset class is great, or maybe it's tax season, so you've got some great tax advisor that's coming on a podcast or whatever, and you want to say, hey, if you want to listen to this great interview I had with a tax advisor and ways you can save a ton of money on taxes through real estate, here's the, opt-in or whatever, that's fine. But you want to grab that email or get them to call you for that particular piece of content, because you do want to go through those steps, those 8 steps that we've talked about in the past, which are necessary for you to take a complete stranger, somebody you just happened to meet at a conference, landed on your website. You don't really know this person, but you want to take them from a complete stranger to somebody that you have a substantive relationship with. You've got to go through these 8 steps. You've got to send them the questionnaire. You've got to have a phone call or coffee or whatever. And the only way that's ever going to happen is if you get somebody's email, right? So that's the whole point when you go to conferences, or the whole point if you do, even if you do marketing, which I don't have a problem with, by the way, even if you do SEO, if you're really good at SEO marketing and you're getting people to your website through these value add pieces of content, if somebody's searching for, is Dallas, Texas a good market, and suddenly, boom, your article shows up and people go to your website, that's great. That's the whole point of capturing emails, but it's not to go pitch them something. It's not to call them up and say, hey, I got you. Hey, I saw you filled out my form. How much do you have to invest? It's, hey, I see that you're interested in real estate. Let's get to know each other. Let's go through those. You're not going to tell them you're going through 8 steps. You're just going through those 8 steps that the SEC wants you to do to get to know your investor, for the investor to get to know you. And what better way for the investor to get to know you than to have a really robust section in the website that talks about your company and your values and what you do and all that stuff. So I think those are the 3 primary things. I mean, if somebody wants to come up or ask me if there's something else that they have on there that would be okay, that's fine. I actually already know what somebody's going to ask me, so I'm going to answer it right now. Past performances, right? Past deals, and by the way, before, I should have said this, maybe I'll edit this so I have this at the beginning. I don't think I will, but I usually don't give this disclaimer because it's like, I think it's obvious, and I don't, it's not that I don't care, but it's not a huge deal. But on this one, I will give you the disclaimer that these are just obviously my thoughts, my opinions, not legal advice. In fact, when it comes to the websites, and one of the reasons you probably don't see too much content on this generally is that it's just it's not black and white. It's very facts and circumstances, which is why I think going through a specific website helps, because now I'm looking at specific language as opposed to just general, can I do this? Can I do that? But obviously, these are just my thoughts. It's not legal advice. Obviously, if you're a client, we can probably give you some legal advice. Actually, we'll give you some legal advice. But here's just kind of give you some ideas. Ben asked, where can we find the 8 steps? Post on the community, Benjamin. We did a live on this. I forget what episode it was on. I think how to establish a pre-existing substantive relationship, and I go through it there. But it's actually contained in one of my ebooks, the 5 things every syndicator must know to stay out of jail. So you could just ask for it on the community, or if you just want to email jail, I think it's jail@premierlawgroup.net, and that'll auto give you that ebook, Benjamin. And I've outlined the 8 steps. So I know that's a question I'm going to get, so let's just address it. Can I post my prior deals on my website? Some people say yes, people say no. Again, there's no real hard answer. It really depends. Let me just digress a bit. It really depends on your risk tolerance. It's not unlike when you're an investor, right? When you're investing in something, there's a risk tolerance and there's an appetite for risk that you have. Some people are very risk adverse and the conservative, and they don't want to get anywhere close to the gray area. And then other investors are like, hey, let's go swing for the fences and let's hit a home run or strike out. And it's very similar to this. Like a lot of things we talk about that are in this gray area, it's just, hey, we don't know if it's going to work. Maybe it's 70% chance it's going to work. Maybe it's 50% chance, whatever. That's the best that we can do. And so it's just going to depend on your risk tolerance. So when it comes to the past performances or your portfolio, so to speak, I personally have no issues if you have a page in there that has your properties that you either currently have or you've had in the past. So let's start with that. So having the properties themselves, I think, is relevant to showing your expertise and your track record, right? I mean, are you somebody who's never done a deal or has done a couple of duplexes and triplexes? Or are you somebody who's been doing 200, 300 unit apartment buildings for the last 20 years? So that goes to your expertise. And as you guys know from one of the past episodes about the top questions to ask a sponsor, that's going to be the first one, which is what's your level of experience? What's your track record? Do you have a team? All those questions can be answered in your website. So let's just assume you've done 10 deals in the past, right? I have no problem with you listing all 10 and say, here's the portfolio that I've had. I have no issues with you having a nice, most people put a picture on it, so I have no issues with the picture. I have no issues with actually describing the size of the deal, right? Hey, this is a 213 unit apartment building in Dallas, Texas. This is a 111 unit in Oklahoma. This is a 40 unit here. Like that, again, is showing you the type of deals that you guys invest in. Where people start to go. So I think for that, you're safe. If you're conservative and you're, you know, I mean, I guess if you're conservative, don't put it in there, but I'm really comfortable with you putting the properties in there. Where you start to get into really dangerous territory and probably crossing the line is when you start putting the ROIs in there, right? When you say, hey, look, I bought this building, this 100 unit apartment building in Oklahoma 7 years ago, and you know, the investors made a 18.5% IRR or a 3x multiple, that's where I think you're starting to condition the market. Doesn't mean that you're absolutely going to get nailed if you do that. No, but I think you're just getting a little bit on the riskier side where I would not advise clients of mine to put the returns. But anything, think of it this way, anything that you could argue solidly that the reason for it being there is so that people can understand the type. I mean, for example, like the asset types that you're doing, the size of them, the markets, all that stuff I'm okay with, but just stay away from ROIs and all that stuff. All right. If you join us late, I'm going to go through some websites. I've got a couple already in the queue, but if you want me to review, if we have time, I'll go through it. But if you want to post your website, happy to do that. And then I think what I want to do a little bit different, although I do see some questions, which I will answer. I think as I'm going through it, you know, there's not that many people on here, there's like 35, 40 people. Just unmute yourself. And if in the middle of, as I'm going through it, you have a question, let's make it relevant to everyone. So just jump in and ask, and hopefully we don't step on each other's toes. But so anyway, I'm going to start with hunters. So Hunter, somebody I brought up, let me actually also do a roll call real quick. Sorry, I apologize. Where am I here? If any of you guys, I'm going to rattle off some names. If you guys are in here, just drop me a chat and just say I'm here. Dave Snehal or Snehai, no, Snehal, Abbas Mohammed, Diane Stein, and Jennifer Falloon, Sean Winslow. I think those are the people. If you're here, I'm going to do yours as well. I'll give you priority because you guys put it on the website. But I'm going to do the first one is Hunter. So I'm going to share a screen here. And I have not reviewed these. So these are going to be, Drew, can you give me a thumbs up that you can see the screen, please? Cool. All right. So this is Hunter's. Let's move this over here. So what do we got here? We got this. Nope, let's not put it there. Sorry, let's put it down here. So this is Legends Capital. Looks like it's got 4 or 5 pages. Great. Real estate investment made easy. Sorry, I got to move you guys. Maybe I need to minimize you guys over here. There we go. Real estate made easy. This way it uses cookies. Accept. All right, let's accept. No big deal. At least not from my perspective. Okay. So this is great. Legends Capital is a privately held investment company. So this is kind of the About Us section, right? Legends Capital is a investment that focuses on the acquisitions and management of income generating. Oh, look, a little pop-up there. Let us know if you have any questions. I won't do that. We specialize in value-add properties located in emerging markets. Perfect. I think that's great. It tells me right off the bat what you guys do. Why real estate? Great. This is value-add, specifically multifamily. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to make sure there's nothing else that I see there. So that's great. Find out more. Let's connect. Okay. This is interesting. Tell us a little bit about, this is where I think it gets, this isn't terrible. This isn't like in your face. It does ask about a credit investor. This is where I think instead of just let's connect, I would be offering some sort of, a value add piece of content for that. But okay, so how it works, let me see, about, is this just one page? No, about. If you guys listening on the podcast, obviously this is not going to work for you guys. So check it out, please, on YouTube. And please hit the subscribe. I actually have a goal now to hit to 2,000, which is not a lot by the end of the year. And I'm going to start bribing you guys to subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, would appreciate it. How it works. We raise money to buy real assets. Fine. We purchase income, right? We send in, great. Our team. Okay. So it's all on the same. It's great. Here's Hunter. Great. So far, 0 issues. There's Kara. Get started today. I think the only issue is the invest now goes back to no. Why invest with us is a great sheet. What we believe in. This is all about us. This is awesome. This is really cool stuff. Real estate investing, cash flow tax. So all of this is just why real estate. There's an email. This is a great website. I don't know, Hunter, if you're on, but I haven't seen anything that strategy. This is your strategy. Again, this is what you guys do. These are the markets, Tampa, Charlotte, criteria, great. Underwriting, great. Target. This is so somebody looking at this website will absolutely know exactly what you're doing, how you make money. All right, let's see here. So this target indicators. I'm not super stoked about that. Hunter, if you're watching it, I would probably get rid of this target indicators. I think emerging markets is fine. 50 plus units is fine. This is fine. Less than 50 million, that's fine. But the returns, ARR, though, I would get rid of those. Again, I think you're just playing with fire there if you're doing 506B. Acquisition practices. Yeah, but overall, I think you got a nice little disclaimer. I've shared my disclaimer on the community Facebook page before, so you can copy some of that as well. But yeah, overall they look great. Let's see if there's any questions about that one or not. But man, if all of them are like this, it's gonna be a quick. Come on, I want somebody to give some issues so I can talk about some issues. Ryan asks, are you allowed to condition the market if you're only doing 506Cs? Yeah. That's the whole point. So 506Cs allows you to advertise. The only limitation on a 506C where you want to be careful is that the anti-fraud provisions still exist. So the states still have jurisdiction. So you still can't, you can't get crazy, right? You can't be promising the moon because you're not going to have, unless you give all the disclaimers and everything. So stay away from, hey, we're going to triple your money in 6 months kind of language. But yeah, you can not only condition the market, Ryan, but you can flat out, on your website, your first page could be, hey, we're almost done with our raise. Call me to give me money. I mean, that's how that stuff is. All right, let's go to the next. Cindy, you were next. So I'm going to copy. All right, Cindy. Cindy, feel free to, I appreciate you, Cindy. Feel free to jump in here. So let me share the screen here. And Cindy, you can tell me if you can see the screen. Well, I can't see you. So
yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right.
We haven't touched it since we started.
Oh, that's all right. So no, hopefully there's a lot of issues. We can make this very instructive. Outlaws Capital Partners, great. Driving portfolio growth and financial security, commercial, residential, really, yep, sounds good. Got contact us. Let's see what that says. That's what is that just an email? Complete the screening information or submit to a member of the senior staff will contact you, guide you through the process, answer. Okay, yeah, so I think this is where this actually, yeah, so now you're talking, returns, investments. I would really encourage everyone to give them something of value in order for them to give you your email. Yeah, you're talking about accredited investor definition. I mean, this is where I get a little nervous, Cindy. So none of this needs to be on here, right? So you just want to get their email so you can give them a report. Then you can hop on a call and say, hey, are you interested in a call? When they say yes, then you can send them a questionnaire and say, hey, before we hop on a call, do you mind filling out this information, this questionnaire? It'll be very helpful for us. And then you can go through that questionnaire during your initial call. But having it here on the website makes this look like, hey, you're here to solicit investors. And if it's a 506B, your website cannot be about soliciting investors. It has to be everything except that. So that's one thing I would comment. We acquire okay, so this is a little bit about what you do, which is great. Select multifamily properties, specific submarkets. Our analysis identifies market for fast growing. Yeah, plain and simple. Great. What we do, perfect. Analyze. Great. Got a little disclosure. I think what's missed, what I would add, Cindy, to this one, there's probably an about you guys, strategy, execution, opportunities, all good. I don't know if I'd give you your address or anything, but contact. Okay, I think what this is missing, and this is not a legal thing. I mean, you can do whatever. This could be as far as I'm concerned, this could be a static one-page website. That's not the point. I think you just need more blogs and value add and videos and content. And again, if you don't have to, it doesn't have to be your own. You could repurpose you could put a bunch of headlines in here about, if you, whatever particular marketplace you are, you can go find articles from Bloomberg or, real estate magazines or whatever, and just repurpose them if you don't want to put out your own content, which I understand a lot of people don't want to. But I think value add stuff would be helpful, because again, the idea here is you met somebody at a conference, you pass them a business card, and this is how they found you. If you had more blogs too, they might be able to find you from a Google search. Somebody's like, hey, is Jacksonville, Florida any good? And then there's an article about why Jacksonville is the worst market, or the top 10 best markets, the worst markets, or whatever. I think that'll be helpful. So any questions there, Cindy, since you volunteered? All right, cool. You're welcome. Thank you. Let me see if I'm missing any questions here. Andrea, where can I find the recordings of these webinars? I missed some. I put them all on the Facebook community page, which is mauriciorauld.com/FB group. I'll put it in the chat right now. So mauriciorauld.com/FB group. But since they're so long, which I might shorten them a little bit, but because they're so long, I can't upload the video directly. So I put them on YouTube. So it's actually a YouTube link, but you can always find them either on the YouTube channel or on the thing. All right. Randy's next, impactequity.net. Let's go take a look here.
Yeah. So it's not a very pretty website yet, but I'm just using it kind of as a place to save information and use it as a business card, as you mentioned.
Awesome.
So
yeah. I mean, look, websites, books, these are all business cards. Impact Equity LLC. Impact is a real estate investment firm, focuses. Yep, great. Mobile home parks, self-storage. Look, great. Sign up to receive more information. What do you send them what do you send me if I sign up, or do I just get on your mailing list?
You're on my mailing list for monthly newsletter, essentially, education content.
Yeah, maybe you just specify that. But I think sign up to receive more information about passive. Yeah, I mean, that's theoretically a value add, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. I like your disclaimer. Great. So that's good. Page 1. What we do, this is the about you section. So great. We kind of talked about that. I want to make sure there isn't anything. Sometimes people put in what we do. It's like, hey, we help investors get a 20% IRR on their, or beat Wall Street. Like that's where I'd want to kind of stay away. But hey, how does syndication work? I think I'm okay with that. Who we are. I assume this is your bio, or just maybe, yep, there you are. Great picture. Cool. Same thing. You just want to avoid, hey, you've got a track record of giving, 18% IRRs to people. That's where we want to stay away from. Schedule a call. This is where it gets a little bit dicey. So if I schedule a call, what are we talking about?
Yeah, good point.
So that's the thing. So yeah, just make it a little bit more indirect. You want to get on a call, and that's going to be that initial call after you send them the questionnaire. That's just the call is one of the 8 steps. But again, you want to capture them. Once you give them some value add, maybe it's a follow-up. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the article on blah, 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 blah. Here's another article, or whatever your email sequence looks like. But eventually, like, hey, if you'd like to learn more, I'd love to, get to know you better. So you may at some point be able to look at deals from us. All right, good. So we got some blogs. I'm excited. Great. Are these yours? Or are these repurposed?
These are mine.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, great. I mean, look at this. To me, yeah, this is great. So this is great. And then maybe you just have one of these that's really a little bit, more leveraged. Be a little bit careful as a run S&P.
Yeah.
Just be a little bit careful on the returns and stuff. But
okay.
Yeah, so just pick something that, that's very topical. That might be, maybe today it's all about inflation and rents, this, that, the other. Maybe it's just a premium report. And that's what, that's how you start them off with capturing their emails. You have a podcast. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. It'll be a little free plug there for the gentle art of crushing it. Nice. So there's the website. So there's your links. Absolutely great. And again, on podcast, no different from social media posts, no different from this website, just pure value add. And what I would recommend, here's a tip for you guys that I learned from the real estate guys. Every single guest that you have on ideally comes with some kind of a value add report, and then you offer that report to your listeners, and then you set up a specific, the real estate guys just use an email. Like the one I just gave you. Mine's jail@premierlog.net. that's the email capture. And anybody who listens to a podcast, if I'm on a podcast and I say, hey, you want to get a copy of my report, email jail@premierlogger.net, they're going to get that automatically. And then you just share that email with your guests. And that's a good way to build your list without having to put out the content. You're already putting out the content, which is the podcast, doing all that work. Have your guests show up with something of value to offer your guests so you can start email capturing.
Got it.
Right. So great. So there's in the media. This is just, oh, cool. Diminishing. Yeah. So I don't think I saw anything. To schedule a call, maybe that's the only thing I would be a little bit careful about. What are you talking about? No, but you said this one was fine. I think you said that it's this one. The click here to schedule a 30-minute call. I think that one's one move ahead.
Okay.
But I think that.
So safely you could say like, schedule a call to get to know impact equity better or something like that, or?
I just don't know. No, I don't think you request in the website the call. You request the call on your email follow-up from the email that you got from the value add or from the business card that you got at the conference. Hey, great meeting at the conference. You know, if you're, whatever, you figured out it sounds like you're interested in multifamily. Let's schedule a call so we can get to know each other, and I mean, whatever the language you want to use, but I would keep it out of the website.
I will turn it off right now. Awesome. Thank you.
Let me just see if there's any questions here. This is cool. Thank you, Andrea. Recordings, feedback. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get to all of them, but I'm going to keep the chat. And so what I'm going to do is, as I do more and more of these, I'm going to have these, and hopefully you guys are part of the community, because then I can just tag you guys in the Facebook group and say, hey, here's so-and-so's, here's Ryan Murphy's. Hey, wait, Ryan, hold on a second, Ryan. Hey, wait a minute, Ryan, hold on a second. Ryan, let me look at Ryan real quick. Ryan, are you in the house?
I am here, yes.
Hey, Ryan, I did your website back in August.
You did? Did you send something to me? Because I didn't.
No, it's in the community. No, I don't know if I did or not, and my team did, but I tagged you in the, or maybe you weren't a part of. If you're not, it's in the Facebook community.
Facebook group. Okay.
I actually looked it back today because I wanted to see who posted websites. So I think it's August 1st, around there, that I posted it. So I've done yours already, but you're the first one.
Awesome.
I didn't forget about you.
I did kind of hound you on that, but so it's
there. It's there. All right.
Check it out.
Yeah, so we did Randy's. Let's see, where can I find the website? Ryan Murphy answered that question. Laura, appreciate it. Ryan, it's on the community already. And Ryan, if you want to shoot me an email, just Mauricio at plglp.com. I can send you the video.
Yeah,
connect with Aman. Yep, this is Aman from Atlantic Capital. Make sure you guys connect. All right, Sanja. Oops, let me see here. Engineer Capital. All right.
I haven't quite launched this website. Thank you,
cool.
Mauricio.
Good.
So what I'm doing is I'm planning to launch it. So I haven't actually put this out. I don't have business cards with it, nothing. So we're still in the stages of web people modifying pages for me, etc. So anything you say can get implemented.
That's awesome. One of the funny things, or maybe not funny, I just don't want to say frustrating, but the funny things is, as Jim Rohn used to say, the fascinating things are when people send me contracts to review and they've already been fully executed. So it's nothing I do. Or the other one is, they'll send me a video to review to make sure it's okay to post on social media, and they put a lot of time and effort into the video, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't work, and so they have to read. So if you're going to send your attorney video, send them the script or the ideas or something before you. So this is great. Share screen. Here we go. All right, Engineer Capital, great. Oh, see, you're doing 506Bs. The invest with us is the part that causes me heartache already. Engineering your capital, create freedom. Is that going to be I can't click on it. Is that does that take?
It's supposed to be a questionnaire that they fill out if they want to actually invest.
So you can't, I think you came in a little bit late. So you just can't, I would get that. The way you capture people's email is through the value add. So
lead magnet, like a checklist to vet a sponsor or whatever else.
Yep. Here's my, this works for Syndicator. I don't know if it works for passes, but here's the due diligence checklist. That's the 10 things or the 20 things or the 5 things that I look for when I do a due diligence thing. Actually, that would probably be helpful for investors so they know that you're thorough. So things like that, why whatever market you're in is the greatest market, or why I think it's going to continue to be the hottest market, or just something like that. Passive income through apartment investing. So this is great. You know, why passive income through passive investing is the way, you know, to do it. You've done whatever it takes. Then you found it out. Yep. So that's good. Build wealth without sacrifice. Great. Love that. That's what the whole thing about passive investing. So that's great. No issues there. Oh, here's a download. So you have a download already. It is download the steps to vet sponsors and multifamily. Perfect. That's the download. That's your email capture.
Okay.
And you're welcome to steal mine or repurpose mine or the one I did a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that's exactly. So this is a great example. So I download the steps. I put my name, I put my email. Now I'm in your active campaign. And now you can be like, hey, wanted to make sure you got it. Whatever. I'm not a marketing guy, but hope you enjoyed it. If you want to talk more, schedule a call with me so we can, you know, get to know whether we're a fit. That's probably the best language to use because that's what the SEC wants you to do. They want you to foster the relationships, right? That's literally their word, looking for things to foster the relationship. So probably not going to say that's your investor. Hey, let's get on a call to foster a relationship, but you can probably say, hey, let's make sure, let's see if we're a fit. Right. And that's really what you're doing. They're asking you questions, but you're also asking them questions, figure out if they're sophisticated, whether this is actually a fit. Because as we talked about the other day, if they're, if they're 80 years old and they're looking for cash flow and you have a development deal, it's not going to cash flow for the 4 years, or you have a Bitcoin fund, it's probably not a fit. So yeah, but this is your download right here. So I would, this one, and I like that this is above the fold. But instead of saying invest with us, get your free guide or whatever, however you want to do it there. That's what I would do there. And for those of you who came in late, if you didn't hear my disclaimer, these are obviously just my opinions. What I like about doing these website reviews is that, this is all facts and circumstances. It's all kind of gray. And so getting the nitty gritty helps. But again, just because I say it's good or bad doesn't mean the SEC is going to agree with me, or maybe other attorneys may disagree with me. So this is just my humble opinions and feedback from my 23 years of experience. How it works. What am I joining right here, Sanji? Join now.
You're joining a club to get future emails, and eventually you will be signed up for, a call with me and then the investor offering. Yeah, but I'm starting to do C now as well. So I think I might in the future go only C. But I'm doing a B to C right now. So I did a B and then I froze the date and then I switched to a C.
Good. Yeah, that's where it gets tricky on the websites too, right? So when you're let me just actually stop screen just for it gets tricky when you go back, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, because that's the way you do it, but it does get tricky a little bit. I haven't put too much, I need to put some thought into it. How do you do it when you do one as a B, then the next one's a C, then you go back to a B and blah, blah, blah. I mean, theoretically, you would just almost have two websites, right? So if you're done with if you've done with your C and your next one's going to be a B, maybe you switch the website or something and now it's kind of a B, or maybe you know what the way to do it is to have here's another way to do it in general. This is a general comment for all of you, is have all of the stuff that's good for both, right? All the about us, the value add content, all that stuff is on the regular website. And then have a specific tab that is password protected that you only give to people that you have a pre-existing substantive relationship. So they have the password and they can access that. And they can access at that point, you can put your business plans in there. I mean, you got to take some reasonable steps to mitigate that, their password doesn't end up on something and everybody that, you got to show some good faith that you're trying to mitigate. Maybe you need to update your password every so often, but then how do you communicate that to the people who already had it?
Yeah, I think just the investor portal is the easiest way.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, so you can have all that stuff. All right, let's keep going.
Thank you.
Start joining the Capital Club, community people. Okay, cool. One thing you want to be careful with, and I'm not saying this is you, so there's another general comment, but what you don't want to have, because a lot of people do this, what you don't want to have is you don't want to have something that the SEC will argue that it's just a program that's just designed to kind of go through the back door and eventually get them in, right? So you really got to, you've got to be able to justify that you really are adding value to them, right? So there's nothing wrong with having a membership. If you have a weekly webinar like this and you're just, or a Zoom call and all the members and you're providing value, or a podcast like the last one we talked about, that's great. But if it's just like, hey, join my club, and then like one email in, you're like, all right, well, here's my deal. So you want to use that education to sort of establish that substantive relationship, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. do a series of emails and don't ask people to join a club. Just tell them,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't have a
sign up to get my
I have-
educational content.
I have zero issues with the club. Just make sure that's got some value attached to it. And you don't have to charge, or you can do whatever you want, but just make sure there's some real value there where you have a monthly something or a weekly something, or maybe it's a weekly email or whatever, however you want to do it, but just make sure there's some value add. So what I'm signing up for is really the value add. It's not just to get on an email list for you to pitch me, because that's going to be a problem.
Sounds good.
What people are saying, why invest in average response? So that's right. That's exactly right. Why invest in average when you can do it with a great, love it. Good. So this is more, it was information. Oh, it's a testimonial. Great.
I'm collecting testimonials. I got one. I sent it to them. I've got a few more. I need to put it all together.
Let's talk about testimonials real quick. So when it comes to testimonials, because you control that content, it's your website, you get to decide what gets on it. That whatever comes out of the person's mouth can be considered conditioning the market. So you don't want to have a testimonial that says, something like, Sonia is such an amazing sponsor, she tripled my money in 6 months. That's conditioning the market. Now, if they end up posting that if they're on a random podcast and they say that, you have no control over that. So you're going to be okay. You can't control it. But if they're on your website, just be, this is for everyone. Just be careful about what the testimonial is. You don't want to be referencing returns. You want to be referencing how easy it was to work with, how the experience was pleasurable, not, hey, she was great. I doubled my money in 3 years. So
I know. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Ready to start your journey? No, we're not ready to start the journey at this stage, right? Because again, we can't advertise.
It's too soon.
Yeah. So are you ready to learn more or something like that? Join our club, or maybe in your context, ready to start your journey, but the journey is not the investing journey. The journey is the membership. The
content.
club.
So you receive all my
content.
emails, sequences,
Yeah, start by joining the
articles, the educational portion. Yeah.
Hey, Mauricio, I got a quick question for you. We were just at the Quest Expo this last weekend, and it's alternative investing or whatever, and people would come up to our booth and just directly ask us questions like, what are the returns you're giving? And I mean, I don't know, like if we're still thinking of doing 506Bs, are we even able to just answer that question because they asked us?
Yeah.
Or are we supposed to dance around it?
No, I mean, if it's a one-on-one conversation, I think I wouldn't sweat that one. What I would not do is put stuff like that in an email. If somebody emails you, what are your returns and what are this stuff, I would definitely not put that in writing. But, if they're asking you and you're at a conference or a booth, again, I would still probably do the ranges more than anything. Like, hey, it depends on the deal, but, typically, we're seeing X to X returns, and then just again, I mean, what are the odds somebody's recording it, but just put those disclaimers. When I say put those disclaimers, even in your vocabulary, it should be like, hey, each unique, everything's got, every deal's unique, everything's got risk. They're obviously not guaranteed, but that's generally, and I would probably try and stick to maybe even though past performance is also potentially conditioned the market on a one-on-one, maybe say something like, on average in the past, we've averaged a range between so-and-so and so-and-so, but of course, as you know, past performance is not no assurance of future, blah, 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 blah. So just give them the disclaimer as well. I have known of people agents, I don't call them undercover, but SEC has shown up, as many of you may know, a fairly well-known syndicator got into some hot water a few years ago, and they literally, I don't know if we have proof of that, but I was talking to one of my good friends, one of the attorneys, and I think they came up to him as well, and just the questions they were asking just seemed very, very, very suspicious. So he believes, and I wasn't there, but he believes that there were some people that were specifically sent to the conference to kind of see what kind of stuff people were saying and talking about from stage. So it is possible that you do have a mole, not a mole, but like an agent there. So just always be careful. But just whenever you say something like that on returns, again, if you can do it from past performance and then give them that disclaimer, hey, as you know, we can't guarantee that, and there's past performance is no indication of future success. But when you're doing one-on-one conversations, you tend to get away with a little bit more because it's it's just a one-on-one. Subscribe to the newsletter. Great, there it is. Real estate certificate. Great. Let's look at. Do you have the portfolio? Let's look at it. We talked about. I don't know if you got my spiel on the portfolio. Let's look at your portfolio section here.
Not all of it is here.
Yeah, so no, I
Some
know,
of it is
I know,
here.
I know. So far so good. So again, I said I'm okay with a picture of it, where it is, how many units, that's great. So so far no. So there's none, this is it. So I have no issues with this. So if you put all of yours like this, I think this goes towards your credibility, what kind of deals you're doing. You're not doing duplexes and triplexes. You're doing 143 units, 154 units, 86 units. So I can see the type of deals. Where you want to avoid is just putting the ROI of the investors or the increase, even the increase in NOI and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to numbers, I think that's where you cross the line, but I have no issues. And I have some people that say don't even allow people, not allow, but some people don't like or don't recommend their clients not even put this in there. I'm comfortable with this. I am comfortable. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. My personal opinion is I am very, 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 very comfortable putting showing sort of your expertise and track record here, just as long as we're not putting returns, because that could be conditioning the market.
Yes.
So this is great. That was good.
Mauricio, can I ask a question on that?
Yep.
Would you include like a purchase price and sell price as like a no-no?
That goes back to this risk tolerance, right? You're just getting closer and closer and closer to that gray line. So if you're I would say super duper, if you're super duper, super conservative, then no, I'd stay away from that. If you
Texas is a non-disclosure state, so we don't tell you the purchase price of anything.
Okay, there you go. So in Texas specifically. But putting aside that, I mean, there's just sneaky ways, right? Like, oh, we increased NOI that's all at the end of the day, showing the returns. So it's not the worst, but I like to stop at where Sonia was showing, like the picture, the size, if you want to say the whole period. I would almost, and this gets a little bit more aggressive, but again, it goes towards your level of expertise, is if you said something like, we bought this at, because you're trying to show that you've got experience in value add and turning things around or adding value. And so, hey, we were able to, you have a little blurb and say, hey, we were able to increase the occupancy. We put $1 million of rehab into it, and we were able to increase the occupancies from 75 to 82%. Again, I would argue that that's there not to condition the market on the returns, but it's there to show my level of experience and expertise, if that makes sense. What else we got here? So we got resources. I gotta go down here a little bit. There we go. How it works is the only thing. I think I saw this already. These are cool pictures, I'll tell you that much. Look at that picture.
We're trying to say that people should enjoy themselves doing what they love to do and leave the stuff to us as far as worrying about your investments, earning a passive income. So the whole adventures and vacation side in a subtle way. Like, go do what you want to do.
Yeah, but my concern there is you're talking about what I try, the general theme of these things, I try and avoid talking about the investment side. Again, these are private offerings, right? You're not supposed to be talking to the world about the investment thing. That's why these are more like business cards or value add posts and about us and the philosophy and email capture and education. It's not a place to talk about investing. That's why I get a little nervous with that stuff. What I'd much rather, if you wanted to say, here's how it works, and you basically did something similar with those 8 steps, right? To establishing a sub, how does it work? Join our club, get to know us, let's make sure you get to know us to see if, I don't know, something about the 8 steps as opposed to the investing, I would definitely put in somewhere here that, you must have a substantive relationship with us. So if you're interested in doing that, that can be part of your process. But the invest part makes me, again, it's not black, but it's just getting a little bit too close to the line where I start to get a little nervous. Because you're not supposed to be this is not meant to be reaching investors specifically. I don't want this to be thought of like
so
market.
Forget the step 3. Watch out for the invest with us.
Join
and change those into just educational content and subscriptions.
Yeah, join the club, because you're going to get a ton of value and learn about how to achieve financial freedom. Learn, because I'm going to be giving you all these resources and goals and webinars and whatever value add you're learning. And then maybe there's third one that says, get to know us, or, you know, I
Okay.
don't know what the next one, but something like that. And then, you know, enjoy the fruits of, you know, maybe something like that.
Okay.
But anything with the word invest or returns.
Okay.
I'm
So
getting-
the word invest is a red flag, so I got to replace
I
them
think so,
everywhere on the
because I
website.
think so.
That's really good, because we haven't launched
so.
it, we haven't promoted it, we
Yeah.
haven't sent the link to anybody, so we're very much in the development stage, so this is
Yeah,
good.
I would just,
Mhm.
you know, maybe one of these days, it'd be kind of fun is maybe do one of these with one of the other syndication attorneys, see if we disagree or agree. That might be something fun. Because these are literally opinions, and I have no idea. I have no idea. It'd be great maybe to have a retired SEC guy or gal come in and be like, yeah, that's this, that, the other.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Blog, podcast, media. So yeah, this is all, so the blogs, this is really what 90% of it should be. These pictures are amazing, by the way, Sonia. This is great, good pictures.
It's all vacation pictures.
Yeah.
so.
Precise process of investing. Yeah, I mean, as long as, you know, to look at this one for a second. I'll wrap this one up and get to some more here. Yeah, these are just posts. So as long as are these your posts, or are these?
Yeah, most of the content is mine. The pictures are, I don't know, whatever random pictures they found. From, I don't know.
Determine your goals, find the fitting opportunity. Again, just, because you're not talking about your specific deals, and don't
Correct.
talk about return. Review the PPM. I think I'm okay with that. Send in your funds. So I think I'm okay with that. But yeah, overall, good job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, good to see you last week as well, or 2 weeks. I guess it's gone.
Yeah,
Thank you. I was out in Texas. All right, let's see if we can do one or two more here. Let's see, Sonia. Kenneth posting. Kenneth Peltz asks, posting purchase price and sale price with dates only. Okay. Posting purchase. Now I don't. Yeah, I think Drew asked that a similar question. You know, the date acquired and date sold, I think would be fine. It may even give insights as to, look, if you were buying stuff in 2006 before I think that's relevant. Oh, I'm not saying no on the purchase price, sale price. You're just getting close to the gray area. I'd rather not, but if you really insisted on it, you know, you're just getting closer and closer to that gray area. It just depends on your risk tolerance. I like that. I'm going to start doing that. It just depends on your risk tolerance.
Take that into consideration.
All right, let's look at this one here. Drox Investment Group. This one's, is it because I've got all these other ones open, or let me just close all these other ones? Make sure I don't close the Zoom. All right, let me share screen. And by the way, I'm going to I just found out Robert Helms, if you guys saw the Robert Helms presentation, he was easily toggling from one screen to the next. So he had a fancy, oh, that's why it took a while. You got some video in here. All right. DROX Investment Group. Cool video here at the top. Not video, just pictures. Multifamily real estate specialist. Join DRX Financial Freedom Community. Is that yeah, that's fine. I mean, if it's a value upcoming webinars are great. So this is great stuff. That's cool. Yep, I'm good with that. Now this this I presume is password protected, active investor login, so that's going to be okay. So that's fine. Let me just go back to the home. Multifamily estate specialist, great pick, gallery. Okay, cool. So here's another, or your portfolio. Again, no issues. 316. Here's the address. Anything happen if I click? Yeah, it's not a lot. Some of these you'll click on it and there's more info, but as stated, I have zero issues with this portfolio. Great. 1,007 units. Yeah. So I don't think coming soon. Again, the word invest is always kind of a red flag for me. Invest with financial freedom in sight. Again, this is not meant to be an investment thing for you. So same thing with Assanyo, how it works. It's the same thing. We acquire, you invest, we operate. So you're telling people about your investment strategy. So this is where I would try and shift a little bit. And you shouldn't really be talking about at this stage. What you should be trying to get is that email capture, and then in your email follow-up sequence, if you're interested in learning about more, let's get to know each other and see, because assuming they're interested, let's see if we're a fit. I would take this out of the website.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah. Schedule a strategy call. Same thing. Like, what's the purpose of the strategy call at this point? Yeah, so it's just a calendar. So 'cause if on this call, you're just talking about your investments and stuff like that, that's where I get, okay. You've got to capture the email with value add content, then you got to put them through those 8 steps. And of course, one of those steps is scheduling a call or multiple calls or having coffee with them. So that's part of the steps, but going right from the market, because this is marketing, this goes out to the world. So to just, it's advertising. You're advertising for a call to talk about your deal. You want to advertise value add content or a club or a webinar to cap, whatever it is of value. And then they're on your mailing list. And then you can start, hey, if you're interested in some of this stuff, not everybody's eligible. There's very strict regulations. We got to get to know each other. Let's schedule a call if you're interested to see if we're a fit, make sure, all that kind of stuff. So that's good there. And then this is your bio or about you guys. This is all great. This is what you do. 1,700 doors, 12 years of experience. This is all great. All good stuff. Join the financial freedom community. What happens when I fill this out, guys?
Yeah, you be placed on our mailing list for webinars that we have on a monthly basis.
I think you should. Yeah, so put that in there. Put, hey, to learn, to find out, or be on the first to learn about webinars, and I think you should develop that a little bit more. If you are doing all this value add, which I think I did see that, if you're doing value add content, that's what you should be promoting. You should be. So think of it that way. I guess maybe that's another way of saying it differently. So think of your website as not promoting the investment, but promoting whatever value add content you have. So if you've got a podcast or you're doing webinars or you're doing any of that kind of stuff, then that's where I think that's what you're really promoting. And that's what I'm putting my email, my info in there.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. Let's keep going here. Because you've got webinars. I mean, that's why people do webinars and podcasts. It's just a great way to legitimately capture, and obviously events, real events. First Wednesday of every month, webinars, achieve financial freedom and create generational wealth. This is great. First Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Look at this, great. How to read, create fun. This is amazing. It's a little outdated, but but it's great. April, free webinar series. Got some great guests. This is what you should be promoting. Not schedule a strategy call, but maybe some of these, there's by the way, all of these webinars, just another kind of tidbit, not really a legal tidbit, but all of these webinars can be turned into a blog or something, right? You can literally hire on Upwork, give them the webinar, have a copywriter turn the webinar into a blog and post your blog somewhere. And if it's really detailed and stuff, you could turn it into like an ebook, and that could be your email capture. So you can always repurpose some of the stuff because you're doing the work anyway. I don't take my own advice, of course, but now we're working on that. I'm trying to convert every single one of these lives into their own, maybe not this one, but all the topics we've been talking about, we're just gonna have a copywriter go through all 31 episodes and create 31 blogs. Great. So I think that's it. So I think that's the main thing. So I would, and then I'm okay with this piece here, because this means that you're either active investor, or you could have a separate tab that has, it's only for people who you have pre-existing, it's a password protected tab that only people that you've already had those interviews and gone through those steps, and that, so you have a pre-existing relationship, they have access to that portal, to that, that tab. And in that tab, you can talk about investing in the steps and all that stuff, almost like an investor portal, but they're not really investors yet, if that makes sense. All right, let's do really one more, last one here. And then, all right, this is the last. And then, like I said, guys, I'll keep the, I don't know how many more. Wow, there's a lot. I will add these to my list, and I'm going to start doing these, but I will be posting them on the Facebook community. And I don't know, maybe once in a while we'll do these live, since we can, we bang up quite a few here. So let me see the last one here, guys. Yeah, let me know if this works. I mean, if this is helpful to you guys, then I will definitely, can do it again, but I'm going to try and do these on the community more because I think it's more relevant. All right, Elante Capital, invest in multifamily, great. Invest in multifamily real estate with transparency and trust. You could change this this could be an easy fix by, we can say, we invest in multifamily real estate with transparent we invest in multifamily real estate. Flip this around a bit where you're just talking about you and you're not talking to me to invest in your deal. So instead of invest with us, just talk about how you guys have picked multifamily as your asset of choice.
Are you trying to share screen? I don't see anything.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That looks, looks like Austin. Is that Austin?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. So again, don't say invest in multifamily real, because you're talking to the investor. And again, this is not meant for that. So you can say we invest in multifamily real estate and are the trusted source of blah, 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 blah. Right. But I would stay away from, again, my own personal opinion, to stay away from invest with us, because now it looks like your website is there to talk to investors.
How about I change it to join our investor club?
Yes, perfect. Click here. Great. Click here. This is perfect. Click here to download the free ebook for real estate passive investment. That's what I'm looking for, or what I would suggest. Maybe be a little bit more specific. People love checklists and stuff, like, download here for the free ebook for 5 questions, 10, the checklist, little things like that, but just something that's a little bit more descriptive, but that's exactly what you're looking for.
Got
So
it.
download here. Great. Perfect. Name and email address. That's exactly what you want to do. Connect to learn how you can invest in real estate. Again, I would join us so that you, can access your, I don't know what kind of content you're putting out, if it's blogs or webinars or podcasts, but that's what you're trying to get in touch with, is to, and again, learning how you can invest in real estate. I think that's fine, because you're pitching, again, why real estate, or the benefit. The checklist to me is like the 5 benefits of real estate, right? Taxes and inflation hedge and all that stuff. So let's do that. And I'll say we help investors make the right investment in commercial real estate by undertaking these strategies. Okay, this is kind of about us, so that's okay. That's what you guys do. So there's nothing wrong. SEC has told us that that's nothing wrong with information about you and your company, and this is about you and your company. Buy right, finance right, manage right, consider right. Yep. Property diligence. Join our investor community. That's fine. It's as long as it's educational and it's not an end around, that you really are providing weekly emails or weekly webinars or monthly webinars or content. Transparency, growth mind initiative. Yeah, all good. How does it work? Yeah, this is the same issue I have with the other ones I've seen. Yeah, I just don't like having this kind of stuff on the website. This is sort of the email. This is the stuff that I would be sending to people right before our initial call, or actually, on our initial call, be talking about how it works. That's really where this should be working, is when you're having that initial call. After you send them the questionnaire, you've got a good idea what they look like. You're getting on this 1 or 2 or 3 calls with them. Inevitably, that's one of the questions they're going to ask you is, well, how does it work? Or, how does your process work? And so you're going to talk to them about that. But yeah, credit this. I'm, as you can tell, I get a little woozy with investment stuff. Because again, you're not allowed to advertise. So this is supposed to be your friends and family, and it's your business card. Why work with us? Same thing. I would stay away from, I'm not here to work with us. And again, a lot of this stuff can just be a tweak of language. I'm not saying you have to completely revamp this website. Like, how does it work could be changed to, here's our process, or here's how we do it. Like, we buy, we partner with people, you can tweak it, just the language a little bit.
Like, how do we work? Something like.
Yeah, this is our I would use words like, this is our investment philosophy. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is our process. Why work with us? Yeah, like, this is all stuff of why real estate, right? This, instead of saying why work with us, I would be like, benefits of real estate, cash flow, amortization, tax and leverage, all this stuff not why work with us, just benefits of real estate.
Got it.
And then this could be a blog in and of itself. The 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 6 reasons to invest in real estate.
Got it.
That could be your free ebook. And then same thing, like, download free ebook. I like it. It's just, I don't even know what the ebook is. It's again, not a legal question. It's more like, what's the compelling offer? Download a free ebook on what? Like, I'd be a little bit more specific.
We'll send an email.
Say that again?
It will send an email. So when you put the email, it will send you on your email.
I understand that. No, I understand. But what am I don't know what I'm getting. It just says free ebook. I don't know what the ebook's about, or does it interest me? Is it relevant to me? Do I want to read it? Like, is it like, it doesn't, if you said download free ebook on how to become financially independent. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds interesting. Or download free ebook on why invest in real estate. That kind of sounds interesting too.
Got it.
All right, guys, I don't know. I'll look at the comments later and see if this made sense to you guys. And if it did, I'll maybe do another one. But I will definitely do them on the community. So again, another shameless plug, mauriciorauld.com/FB group if you're not a part of the community. And appreciate you guys sticking around, and hopefully this was helpful. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.